original Stand Back Cake from the 1983 video, MTV. We drag it out of the trunk, and I think it always deserves an introduction. All right, come to the serious part. And very serious it is, in a good way. 5 years ago, I got an invitation to come to Walter Reed Hospital to visit soldiers. I was here with Fleetwood Mac, and we were doing Monterey. I had a day off, and it was a Sunday, and I decided to go. And I went by myself with, my assistant and maybe one other person, and we got to the hospital, and it was at about 2 in the afternoon. We walked through this very big, huge, grand entryway, very quiet, very sanctuary, yes. Nobody there really. And walked straight through, talked very quietly, got in the elevator, went upstairs, and spent 7 hours with the soldiers. It was awesome. When it was over and all the doctors leaving, the nurses finally came to me and said, "Really, listen, you have to go." And I'm like, "But I'm so happy here. I just feel so at home here." So they're like, "I'm sorry, we gotta go." So I go to the elevator, and I get in the elevator, and I push down, and I go down, and the doors open up, and I am not looking at the same room that I had walked through 7 hours before. I had stepped right into the middle of a raging medevac. It was Sunday night, and it was coming in from Germany. I just kept my eye on the front door and just terrified, walked straight through slowly. Got to the door, of course, the car was not there, so I'm standing there, and I know that they want me to go now. They really actually don't want me to stay, they want me to go. So I'm like, and right as my car pulls up, an ambulance starts, all of the ambulances start to come in, and the screaming sirens, and I'm standing there, and I go, I came here 7 hours ago, and I was Stevie Nicks, rock and roll star, not a problem in the world. And I'm standing here right now, and all of that it is so not important to me now. And I have realized that in that 7 hours, but especially standing on that curb, waiting for those ambulances with all those families, that I have become a soldier's mother. That is certainly not something that I ever thought that I would be. I never even thought I would be a mom, period. So I went back to the hotel and I started to write a poem, which is what I do when I am freaked out and I'm trying to do something. I wrote 2 verses of a poem. In the next 2 or 3 visits, I wrote the rest of the 7 verses. It took me, I printed it up, and then the next time I came, I handed it out to all the soldiers, to all their families, to sisters, mothers, aunts, grandmothers, dads, brothers, everybody, doctors, nurses, techs, everybody you can imagine. And I told them all, this will be a song someday. And as the years went by, I thought, I don't know if this is ever going to be a song because I just can't write the chorus. And in 2009, I was on the road with Fleetwood Mac, and we were in London, and they had a very bad day. And 7 of their soldiers were basically massacred in an Iraqi training camp. And London went crazy, as if it were like World War II. That's what it reminded me of what I would have thought it would have been like in London in World War II. And so I went right along crazy with them. And I was able, for horrible reasons, to sit down and write the 4 lines that then became my summation to my 7 verses. And I went back to Los Angeles, and this was in December, and in January I sat down at the piano and I wrote this song. And it is my most sacred thing I have ever done. And it is my most sacred. So I would like to sing it to you, and it's called Soldier's Angel.